pretty slick design. It's actually pretty weird that the barrel is slanted because it doesn't really seem like it would do that. Really? He didn't need all this gear? Sure. I guess here we can just shoot through the Vex side. Nope, it's not that. It's not. Okay, so it's bad barrier piercing. That's actually really sad. All right, it seems like we've got some unfinished business to take care of on Yomina. Literally just gonna ignore all the ads surrounding the mission. Well, because who cares? Oh, we're back in Black Garden.
Good. Any sign of the Soul Divisive?
Not a Vex in sight. You should be proud, Nimbus. Rohan's passkey worked perfectly. I guess they're still hurt over missing out on the action.
All the more reason for them to stay out of the garden. It has a way of amplifying such emotions till they blot out all reason. So, quickly and quietly now. Find the conceptual mind, grab its memory core, and get out.
Roger that.
Sounds pretty simple. I forgot, like, this mission has been like stuck like on the, or sorry, the quest has been stuck, you know, on the menu for like forever since I completed Lightfall, like literally almost a year ago. So it's taking me this long to finally be like, oh, you know what, maybe I should clear the mission. Oh my god, dude. Apparently the little Cyclops thing is able to block the Arcane Needle. Okay, and apparently Suspend can also affect the Cyclops. That's pretty interesting. Looks like we just need to destroy these little Vex. Oh, this one's blocked by a barrier, so we need to like either drop down or just drop down. Yep.
Made it through. Though I still don't understand how that happened. Unless we tripped an alarm on the way in.
It's possible. Perhaps Rohan's passkey had a flaw we didn't see.
But why not attack where we portaled in? Why let us get so far?
Are you suggesting someone else tipped off the Soul Divisive?
It's possible.
It's also disappointing. Stay on task. I'll go check on Nimbus.
I mean, not really too much to say on the, oh my god, what am I getting blocked on here? Not too much to say on the plot end, but I think I do remember this area from the raid. Somehow managed to grapple my way over here. Well, not exactly grapple, not die on my way over here. It's funny that there's a thing that's there to push me off, and it's like, oh yeah, I'll just jump over all of it. I assume that these are like windmills for power, except it's turning radial area.
Looks like someone beat us to the next security measure.
Sorry, friends. I couldn't sit this one out. I owe this to Rohan.
You owe it to Rohan to do your duty as a Cloud Strider.
Like you know what it means to be a Cloud Strider.
That was a sus-looking decal, but seems like we've figured out what Nimbus is up to. Mucking out the situation. Neat little Vex statue here. Hopefully this will... Wow, these are the slowest walking goblins of all time. Oh my god. And they've just stopped. Amazing. Good use of my trap there. Some supplicants.
Nimbus, how did you even get in without a passkey?
You know that conflict
Good question.
on Neomuna? Let's just say those lasers were meant for more than just a light show.
Okay, so it's the little reflector thing that we can shoot through. Or shoot to. In order to deal damage. No! Oh, rip. That was some reputation I desperately needed, but whatever. Some more sections where we have to reflect the little beam. Honestly, I like this. I wish that, you know, or I hope that there's a super complex one that comes up in the future, but probably not. Honestly, the Arcanium does massive damage. Not that I really need to care about, you know, how much damage I'm dealing in a non-legendary instance of mission. Just gonna use Dark Cranium to clear up these ads. Save my ammo for no good reason. Not like there's like a boss that I really needed to target.
I suspect the Taken have been sent to do what the Soul Divisive refused to cover the witnesses' tracks. Completely.
They're here for the conceptual mind.
Clearly, its knowledge presents a real threat to the witnesses' plans. We need that memory core.
Nimbus, wait!
No time to lose. Last one to the conceptual mind is a disappointment to Rohan's legacy.
As if they needed more cores to act rashly. Guardian, you have to catch up with them before it's too late.
Bro. Yeah, I mean, Nimbus is doing Nimbus things, so, you know, not really too much to say on that end. How this information helps us deal with the witness, I have no... What am I getting blocked on? Hello? Whatever, but I'm sure this helped us defeat the witness. This information, somehow. How? Specifically, of course, I'm not too sure, but I don't think it really matters. Like how they put so many annoying things to block your way to getting to the Blight easily, because it's like, bro, I had to take the longest route possible to get over here. It's funny that this ogre literally did no damage, so I didn't even notice that was an ogre. Alright, and that's all 3 Blights.
I don't feel you have to do this.
The almost accidentally jumping off the ledge.
Dead. I can't do anything for him anymore, except live up to what he taught me. A Cloud Strider does whatever it takes to keep Neomuna safe. We don't hesitate in the face of danger. We don't let pain stop us. We let it remind us that...
You're still breathing, still fighting. Yes, I know.
I like how dismissive Osiris is.
But you can't let it propel you either. Trust me, that path only leads to more pain.
Wasn't Rohan said to die anyway, so it's like, oh, he died a couple months early? I mean, I guess it's upsetting that, you know, he was forced to die early, but it's like, you sure this is like the second part of like the first encounter?
I found this. It's Cloud Strider tech, all right. Rohan probably ran right past this spot when he... Looking at this, all I can think of is how Rohan didn't need weapons or fancy mods. Sure, he liked his gear, but he didn't need all that to defend our city.
Really? He didn't need all this gear?
Sure. Just what I should be doing right now.
Yes, I'm sure you'd be really useful without all of your gear, for sure.
You take it. Use it to get the blueprint. Meet me back in Neomuna when you're done, okay?
I mean, it's cool seeing just a weapon laying on the ground, but it's also just funny seeing it lying on the ground like that. It's like,
You
yep,
convinced them.
there it
Well
is.
done, Guardian. Must be your way with words. But you'll need more than that if you're to reach the conceptual mind before the Taken. Don't forget what you're here for.
We're on the move.
So all being is a one and only being, and that it continues to be when someone dies tells you that he did not cease to be. Schrodinger's epitaph. He is fleeing the Vex across a verdant cliff. He is standing guard on the Cloud Arc Nexus border on the Tremontaines borders. He is sitting next to Nimbus on the Watchtower's ledge. He is in the Garden of the Garden. But descriptions are approximately correct, but technically inaccurate. In the same way you can say Schrodinger's cat is once dead and alive. You and I are both and neither, in and of, extinct and perpetual. So there isn't much point in trying to find a way out of this diddle maze. He is trying to make sense of what he's looking at. He is trying to place the familiar voice echoing across the network. I assume he is Rohan, and this here is just, you know, taking the abstract concept of what is being experienced and just, you know, stylizing it and describing it in a way that is pretty interesting. But here we have Rohan's story back in the Black Garden. It seems like he is trying to make sense of what he's looking at. He is trying to place the familiar voice echoing across the network, wondering what might have been if we had stayed in our familiar prison, or cat tightrope walking across the quantum wilds. Instead, ask yourself, would you like to dance? Is this incorporated immortality really so bad compared to the other's ends? Would you have preferred an attack by virtuous Helicorpian or stumbling over the edge of unreality? Imagine Basically sounds like Rohan is questioning, his current state of being and how much longer he has to live and, what his fate and or destiny will be. So he's currently contemplating that, is what it sounds like. Because I don't think this is like an actual being asking a question. I'm pretty sure it's like him asking it to himself, like rhetorically, I think, at least. His foot crosses the quantum threshold before he's aware of it. His grip slackens and his gun falls into a bed of red flowers. His stomach churns with fear, regret, sudden doubt as to what. If we didn't have each other, at least we're not cut off, like the soul divisive are from the rest of the Vex. Nor are we beholden to another's purpose. They chose that lonelier path, all for a chance to create, not simulate, not remake in their image, something truly paracausal. He was witnessing the birth of a god, a false idol, a reproduction that is both like the veil and not at all built upon by the same Vex who bowed down to it. I think this is just referencing the block art. While they tried to anyway, either the blueprint was imperfect or the task impossible or both or neither, but their efforts fell short, so now they're stuck waiting for a resurrection. He is racing for the door that is at once opening and closing. He is coming around to the city council's decision to ignore the unknown threat. He is reaching for an answer to Nimbus's question. They know will never come. Do you think you'll have any regrets? I could be wrong. Is it possible the black heart will beat again? He stares into the white-hot glow of a conflux, speculating on the secrets that lie within. He squints down the barrel of his gun at a row of glowing red eyes advancing on the city. He looks away from Nimbus's keen, curious expression to reckon with its uncertainty before he says, of course, the same as everything else. Everything that has and is and will be, and what will become of us then. I don't know. The devoid exotic machine gun exotic trait Vexadecimal stronger against barrier champions. While holding down the trigger, every fourth heavy metal projectile also weakens targets on impact. Interesting. Okay, so every fourth projectile also weakens. And we have like the demoralize logo, except a little extra stuff around it. Interesting. Cool. Pretty slick design. It's actually pretty weird that the barrel is slanted, because it doesn't really seem like it would do that from, initial viewing it from what I assume is the front side of the weapon. But like, it is slanted and it's kind of weird, but it's honestly pretty sick as well. Pretty slick exotic ornament, although it's clear that this is just a reskin. All right, I switched to a build, a more void-oriented build, so, I could actually use the weapon. Because, while does it also pierce the Vandal's barriers? That makes sense. That's actually pretty sick. But obviously it's like, well, I want to use the weapon, so it's like... I didn't really take a look at its stats, but it is clearly not a weapon with a lot of ammo for its main capacity. 48, I mean, yeah, that's... definitely on the lower end, that's for sure. Pretty slow RPM. I should actually take a look at the stat. That's not what else. Yeah, a 360 RPM. Yeah, I mean, it felt really bad to shoot, to be honest. At least for a machine gun. I mean, it's I'm used to the 600. 600 feels pretty good actually. 450, also pretty decent. 360, pretty slow, but it's like, whatever. I mean, so far it feels strong, but I mean, it's a machine gun against like basic red bars. So it's like, well, being able to apply volatile is pretty nice though. We do have destabilizing rounds that has been buffed, so this probably isn't as good, especially since like destabilizing rounds is cooldown based instead of round based. So it's like, well, you don't always need to activate it on the fourth shot volatile. Instead, you can just do whatever. But oh yeah, I mean, I guess I could use my abilities, but it's like, well, there's not really a reason for me to do so because there's like barely any ads. Ads are super weak. Probably should have spawned like way more ads, for us to deal with. Okay, so we don't actually need an arc conductor to destroy these little things. Because I was like, first I was like, maybe you have to go back to find our conductor, but nope. I mean, I will say the volatility does feel good, but I guess just having destabilizing rounds on the machine gun doesn't make it the most enticing of weapons. Although, to be fair, it is a barrier piercing weapon. I guess the main problem is, well, it is a machine gun, and an exotic machine gun at that. So you're using this for ad clear. So it's like, what are you going to be using for damage? I was gonna say, did I mantle on the projectile? That looked really weird. But that'd be really weird if I mantled on the projectile.
There's the conceptual mind and its failed creation, or its god.
I guess here we can just shoot through the backside. Nope.
What kind of
It's not that. It's not okay. So it's bad barrier piercing. That's actually really, really sad. Because once I saw the Vex Hydra, I was like, oh wait, this is a perfect opportunity to showcase the weapon. And no, it's not. Okay, so it's just weakened and volatile, which actually not too bad. It's a shame that it doesn't exactly seem to pierce the barrier of the Hydra. That's so bad, actually. That's really, really bad. Makes no sense to why it doesn't if it has barrier piercing rounds. At least they're nice enough to just give us infinite ammo. Oh yeah, this is okay. That's why I was feeling like it's fairly familiar. Where are we going? Because okay, I guess. Because wasn't this basically the start? Because this is the first encounter. This is where the little dude is captured in the middle here. So it's pretty wacky that we're just starting here, or we're coming back to here because there's not that much left. I guess they added on to this section. Also, just seeing the Hydra like glitch out like that is so weird. I assume it's because they're on the radial area that's making them instantly teleport, but they're just teleporting back onto the radial area instead of moving, which is really funny. But or is it only possible to do this thanks to ricochet rounds in the first place? Because if I test an arrow, yeah, because the arrow is just going in there. The glade projectile is just hitting the wall. So okay, so that's cute. The ricochet rounds is actually coming into play by us having to, because I didn't notice that earlier. I did notice the ricocheting effect, but I was like, oh, maybe, you know, all weapons just do that thanks to whatever material is on the thing. But okay, it's actually just glitched because of the radial area it's spawning on. That's so funny. Let's actually see if we can't fix. Thanks for spawning on top of me. Really appreciated that. But like I was saying, let's see if we can't fix the spawning issue by moving a little bit further. And of course, you know, this has made my openings, or made it so I'm able to be tacked on two fronts, which you never really want to have happen to you, but it's whatever. Let's try to run into a corner to proc recovery so I can not die for a second. Hello. Okay, Devourer. I can get Devourer back on, and we can just proc Devourer, so we're all good. Cool. Yeah, I think the weapon is not too bad. I mean, obviously, you know, against a bunch of trash ads, you know, we're not really seeing it showcase to its best potential, but of course. But I think the worst part is honestly the fact that the barrier rounds don't pierce the Vex Hydra rounds, because it does for Wishender, and Wishender also technically is like, it's over penetrating. So, but that is what allows it partially, I believe, to have anti-barrier capacity. So the fact that this weapon is a heavy weapon and doesn't have anti-barrier is just so sad. Like, come on, it's a heavy weapon and a heavy exotic at that. Oh, I did actually find a target spot, but sure. Oh my god, I'm just so not used to having to bounce my Bleak Quadrants correctly. Yeah, I mean, the conceptual mind was not really
Conceptual mind is down for the
a threat, but sure.
Looks like the Taken have all cleared out. Why aren't they fighting us for the memory core?
I'm sure they were merely told to destroy the Black Heart's architect. I doubt they were aware its knowledge is the true threat.
You really think this blueprint will help us with the Veil? After all, if the Black Heart was meant to be a copy of the Veil, it didn't exactly succeed.
True. But even studying the failed attempt can lead to useful information. We won't know for certain until we open up the memory core, which will take some time, so hurry back. Besides, I'm sure our friend Nimbus could stand to hear some good news right about now.
Absolutely. On our way.
I'm not going to lie, I completely forgot that the veil even existed. So that actually makes sense to how this knowledge was put into use.
Hey, can you do that cool glowing magic hand thing again? You got the goods.
No.
Osiris rallied a team of researchers while you were out. They've been itching to get their mitts on this. I knew you'd get the job done. Seriously, I don't want you to think I charged in there because I didn't trust you. I guess I was just after something else. Something you can't find in the Black Garden. Or anywhere else. I thought I had accepted death. That's part of the whole Cloudstrider deal, you know? Our service, our sacrifice. I'm not afraid of dying. Really. But I never considered what it'd be like to keep fighting when... And I know this pain is to remind me that I'm still breathing, but how can I when there's this giant hole where a person used to be? He didn't prepare me for this part. At least now I get why Osiris is the way that he is. I owe him an apology. And I owe you my thanks, Guardian. Thank you for everything.
That is character development. Nimbus admits that they weren't as settled with Rohan's death as they thought they were. Cloudstriders are trained to accept death as part of the flow. To Nimbus, that meant pushing through the pain, trying to outrun their grief. Seeing Rohan's gun, okay, so that's Rohan's gun. Okay, I assume, like, you know, if I remember seeing the Lightfall cutscene from wherever or forever ago, that, you know, I'd probably recognize it, but I completely forgot that how it even looked like. But Deterministic Chaos being Rohan's gun, sure, makes sense. And the Black Garden forced them to stop and realize just how much they missed him. Nimbus thanks you for seeing the mission through. With the conceptual mind's memory core, the odds of unlocking the veil and following the witness have shot up. Nimbus promises to deliver the memory core so Osiris and Numen's researchers can start decrypting it. There's just one stop Nimbus has to make first. Go to the Hall of Heroes to honor those who have cut their years short for the sake of humanity. The Hall of Heroes, you know, it's a pretty cool space. It's kind of a shame that, you know, it's not really utilized more. Be interesting if this was like a social space, but it's like, what exactly would you put here? But it's like, well, if you were to use it as a social space, then you would probably put something here to, you know, for people to actually use it. So cool place, but it's like, well, feels kind of wasted since we never come here, which is kind of like, you know, I don't know. It's hard to really deal with, but that's neither here nor there. That's weird. I kind of did a weird entering a menu thing, but sure. Probably gonna play a cutscene then.
When you said you understood, I never asked why.
She saved me. As she always did. Throughout all the lives we shared, she was always my better. Just before she told me, don't lose hope in the darkness. She must have known what I'd find here.
What was her name?
Sagira.
We brought her shell to a place in the Hall of Heroes. And that's the end of that quest, huh? Cool.